This short video is for service businesses that have already solved the lead generation problem, but their sales and marketing system needs to be improved. The common pain points you'd be experiencing is that you're having a whole lot of leads coming into your CRM, like Go High Level or Pipedrive. You have sales reps handling those leads manually via calling and outreach. You feel that your entire lead generation system can be a whole lot more efficient and that there's money being left on the table. I'll show you how to solve it in this short video and how it enables you to maximize your sales reps' time by removing manual work that they'd have to do otherwise. So this is how your current lead generation system most likely looks like, right? You might be getting your leads through ads, and if you're generating, let's say, over 50 or 100 leads a month, then it's likely that you're getting it through ads, right? But let's say you can get it through any form of inbound channel. And just to make a note that this system works really well for you have to be generating leads to actually make use of it really well. So generally, this is what service businesses have, and what I come across 99% of the time is that they have, ads, traffic goes to a website specific landing page, they fill up a form, that form usually doesn't have any sort of conditional logic there. Then the lead goes into the CRM, for example, it goes into the Go High Level. There's not really any enrichment or lead verification happening, or them really verifying whether that specific lead aligns with their ICP. And if they're generating a lot of leads, like let's say 100, 200, 500 leads a month, and they're not properly qualifying as well as ensuring that that lead that's coming into their system and that their sales reps will have to handle and communicate to, right, isn't strongly aligned, then it just means that a lot of the sales reps' time can be wasted on leads that aren't even good quality, right? Anyway, lead comes into the CRM, it gets assigned to a specific sales rep. They do outreach via manual calling, manual outreach via like email and stuff. And a few things can happen from there. Either they can get a meeting booked. They can also speak to them, and the lead might request some additional resources, which means they'd have to actually manually send it to them via email and also potentially tailor the resource, which consumes a lot of time. And if you have a lot of leads coming in per month, the only thing that you'd want your sales rep focused on is talking to the actual prospect and getting them to the actual buying decision, right? And then, of course, it can be pushed back to a specific meeting booked. And and if the lead is uncontactable for whatever reason by the primary sales rep, you might have a follow-up specialist that tries to follow up and gets a meeting booked for the sales rep to get a deal in, right? There's a few questions that you want to ask around, like what are the actual things and tasks that this follow-up specialist does, and to what degree are those tasks automatable? But that's a different sort of thing that can be discussed, but that a lot of what they do can actually be automated. And then you get a meeting, and then it's a won or lost, right? And usually if you don't have the system, which I'm about to go through with you, after it's lost, it's just like lost. It's never contacted again. There's no nurturing sequences or outreach flows or anything that it gets added to, right? You can have it and you can set it up through Go High Level, but just a lot don't, right? Especially if you're generating a lot of leads per month. So how do we solve these key problems? And it's a problem of efficiency, right? Leads come in, go see a lead form. Step number one is you want to add conditional logic. This is like the simplest thing to do. And by doing so, you can differentiate different prospect types as well as the quality, right? Because not all leads coming in are equal. Some might have a much higher potential LTV and are much more aligned to your ICP than another lead, right? And you want to differentiate them and then route the highest quality lead to the sales reps, especially to the sales reps that have a history of having a high close rate with those types of leads, right? So lead comes in, it go through the conditional logic, and then it enters Clay. So within Clay, essentially it's your GTM environment. Within there, you can very seamlessly qualify, research, enrich, score, and route those leads. Super important because it means, again, especially if you're generating a lot of leads per month, it means all of the leads get verified, all of the leads get enriched with the relevant contact information. So your sales rep spends zero time wasting it on a prospect that they can't even contact. And they also get scored, right? What the lead scoring is it determines the quality of the lead and the potential ROI from closing the deal, as well as the likelihood of a close. And if you have a really good lead scoring system set, then again, if you're generating a lot of leads, and let's say you have 5 or 10 sales reps, that would mean you'd be focusing the time that those sales reps have, their bandwidth, on the leads that are most likely to convert and drive the most revenue, right? So that prioritization is extremely valuable, especially if you have a high volume of leads, right? And then it automatically gets routed, can get routed to your CRM. That CRM can be, again, go high level. Lead can be created or updated. So even if the lead already exists in your CRM, they can be updated. Assigned to the relevant or specific sales development representative or account executive. If you guys have any marketing sequences set up, it can automatically tag them and they can be added. And any additional sort of custom fields can be completed, right? Goes to the sales rep, and then the sales rep does their manual call. But after the call, of course, they can book a meeting, or they can be added to automated outreach if they weren't able to touch base with them, right? So automatically they can be added. And then what you can do with this GTM environment in Clay is that you might want to send some tailored emails or resources to the actual prospect, and you want to make it super tailored. For example, you might have a PDF that you want to make it specific to the prospect's business or circumstances or name or location or whatever it may be. You can tailor that resource by using a tool like Clay, right? And you'll be able to do this at scale with like 1,000 leads a month, 2,000, etc. It's a very scalable system that works really well. And the best thing is that once it's properly set, with a little bit of probably a monthly management to make sure everything's functional and working well, it just works, right? And it removes a lot of manual tasks that your sales rep would have needed to do. And if it saves your sales rep, for example, like 5 hours a week, and you have like 10, that's like 50 hours a week times 4. That's 200 hours of productive output that can be added into like revenue generating activities or revenue retention or whatever it may be. There's a lot of things that you can do to actually automate the follow-up specialist role, but I won't go into that. And so the meeting can be won or lost. Again, if it's lost, it updates it within your GTM environment to add it to any form of outreach flows that you have. You might be using third-party tools for outreach like Instantly, Smart Lead, Lemlist, all that sort of stuff that you might want to connect through LinkedIn or whatever it may be. Or you might have something within GSL itself, and then obviously you can set up some custom workflows within it. So by implementing this system, you get to achieve a few things. One, your speed to lead dramatically increases, right? Number 2 is that the percentage of the leads coming in that you actually speak to massively increases. Again, especially if you have a high volume of leads. Number 3, you maximize the value per unit of time extracted from the sales rep itself. And it means that each sales rep has a much greater ROI and their quota should increase, right? And resources that get sent out are extremely tailored to that specific prospect. If you found this valuable, I've created an in-depth overview of how to go about setting this up. It'll go over the tools that are needed and what the Clay setup needs to be and more. Just click below and you'll get it for free.